time.
And we're back on Flash.
No substance.
So today's top 5 is the top 5 Quentin Tarantino movies. Now that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is tearing it up at the box office, we wanted to look back and reflect on some of QT's freaking top movies, to us anyway, because everybody's got a different matter of opinion, right, Robert? So let's highlight some QT. Let's do it. Terrence first.
All right, so I try to keep my list to films that he actually appeared in, had somewhat of a presence in, to where like.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool. He directed, acting, whatever. However you want to do it. Whatever you want.
The way I do that, I'll pick stuff that he appeared in.
Whatever you want.
All right, so number 5.
Number 5.
Is a movie I can't remember what he actually starred in. But I went Death Proof.
Well, he directed it, so it still counts. You're fine.
It actually on the IMDb it says he appeared in it. I just could not remember where he was at in the film.
He played
the guy that either eventually died or only had a small part of the movie.
He was the face on the tire when it was freaking rubbing his foot.
I like that particular type of movie.
Okay, why?
Because one, it was action. It was kind of like it was based on the whole Grindhouse thing. You know, it's like where you would see like a where they did more driving films. They did more murder, strangler type deal. I like that aspect in it. Out of the 2 films, I was like, I like his better than
Planet Terror?
Planet Terror, Planet 9000. Planet Terror. I like that was my favorite one of the 2. I like what they did with Kurt Russell.
Planet Terror better.
Kurt Russell was great.
Rose McGowan had a gun for a leg. How do you not like that?
I mean, I do, but it wasn't better than this. I like the driving scenes. I like the action that it gave us, even though it did have an abrupt end. Like I just got through complaining about it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where they just kind of beat him to death.
Well, you complained also about the slow burn, and ain't no slow burn in Death Proof. I mean, that was a heavily dialogue-oriented movie. Anyway.
It built up and it got you.
Okay.
It got you.
Fair enough. I mean, it was great third actor.
I like it. Anyway, so
Number 4!
Number 4! Almost forgot that he was in this film.
Okay.
Mr. Brown and Reservoir Dogs.
Mr. Brown and Reservoir Dogs. And which he directed, so yeah.
He directed it. I mean, I picked stuff that he was in, too.
Yeah. He's in his own movies.
He's in his own movies. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to cast somebody for your movie, why not yourself?
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs is a great film, heavily dialogue, as is every Quentin Tarantino film. But the dialogue actually does something to establish the characters, to build up where you guys are going into the film. Once Upon a Hollywood just took too long to do that. Reservoir Dogs did it at an appropriate pace, and then it got you. It didn't even have to show you the whole bank robbery scene, because the dialogue itself sold the film. And even his little bit part in the film was kind of hilarious when they were doing everybody's introduction and what their roles were going to be in that particular room. So really, really good. And if I'm talking too fast, I apologize, because we're trying to get going.
Buscemi steals it. Tim Roth, I love Tim Roth in that movie. So yes. No, great cast.
I mean, the beginning portion versus the end portion. Obviously, the end portion is where all the suspense and everything they built up with characters in the beginning all pays off at the end.
And it made me really think: should I tip?
Yes. If that movie taught you anything, yes, tip. Yes, kids, that's what you learned from that movie.
Number 3!
It's because this movie over time has just gone up my list.
Okay.
As far as movies that I really love.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, no. Number 3 is Django.
DJ Ango himself.
Django himself. He had a cameo in it as Robert from the Link Quit Dickey coal mine or mining group or
sure. I don't know.
They mined something. It was like he had a small part. And for Quentin Tarantino, why does he always play racist?
Because he's a racist.
Because he's a racist.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Quentin.
But look, the film was greatly cast, even though it was originally supposed to cast Will Smith. But it was greatly cast. The action in it was amazing. I don't know who did the action. If it wasn't Zoe Bell. But whoever did the action in this film did a great job in action. And as we said before, Quentin Tarantino does great dialogue. But to show me a film where you're going to drop the N-bomb about like 1 million damn times in this movie and it not get me upset, and I'm like, woo.
Damn.
Quentin, you're on something. Maybe I should be racist.
Number two. Real quick though, before you get into that. Right. Picturing Will Smith in that role compared to Jamie Foxx.
Will Smith's too light. I would never believe Will Smith was
I think the same thing. I think Jamie Foxx was perfectly casted as that. So.
He's too light. It's too old.
Too light? Too light?
Now
they're making a comeback?
Huh? Oh,
light-skinned brothers are making.
No, because light-skinned. Let's go to black people slavery history lesson. The light-skinned people, they worked in the house. They weren't no slaves. I mean, it was slaves, but
Well, they were
weren't
light skinned because they ain't got no sun.
Well, no, they were light skinned because they had been mixed.
Oh yeah.
That's why they were light skinned. But they got to work in the house. They didn't work out in the field. Come on.
Number 2.
It ain't even Black History Month. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Okay.
It's Jimmy. Another racist character that he played. I mean, maybe not racist, but man, he was a little too liberal with that N-bomb.
He threw one N-bomb.
He did not throw one.
Jimmy threw one N-bomb. He threw one that I remember. And it was the ER, not the brother, but the ER, not or AR, not the brother.
About his racism. It's like it was
top 5 racial quotes.
It was a scene, but it came out several times.
Oh, okay.
It came out several times in that one scene. But
I do not remember seeing that.
Yeah, his character was very interesting in that film, and it was unexpected because I didn't expect him to be in the movie. And then his character actually had an important part of the film.
Yes, he did.
So, but the film itself being cut up into multiple parts and kind of being out of order, but still being able to, you can still kind of follow the whole storyline together was amazing. And one of the things where I don't want to say he invented that, but it was like a lot of people imitate that because he made it so popular. I would say that. I would say he made it popular.
Yeah, I would say that too. I agree with
all
that.
the characters, the casting once again because he does great at casting in it. He does great in casting.
But that was Will Smith doing Hancock or whatever he couldn't do.
No, he just tried to take over a movie. With a herd. And
they CGI'd his eyes, or like Wesley Snipes, Blade 3.
But you know, from the acting, from the casting to the acting to the storylines and how they unfolded, that movie is a great film, and the fact that he was in it makes it in my top 5.
Okay, awesome. All right. Number one. Okay.
So because I went with more along the lines of movies that he was in, the one movie I can think where he totally starred in, From Dusk Till Dawn. It's a great movie. His only horror film at this point, right?
I would not put that before Pulp Fiction.
We're doing Quentin Tarantino. I gotta put the movie where he actually made it. My top 5 was based on movies that he was in. And if I can't put the movie where he starred in at number 1, what else can I put besides Pulp Fiction? But the movie that he starred in would have to be number 1. Alright, this is a great movie. Like I said, it's his only horror film that I'm aware of. Everything else is more of like, I mean, that's more of like.
Well, he's written, you know.
I couldn't call that a slasher film. What would you call Death Proof?
Death Proof?
Yeah.
I would probably go along the lines of.
It's not a slasher.
Drama suspense. Yeah. Drama suspense.
Thriller, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So I mean, he did a great job. I mean, playing offside Clooney. And his character was so important to this film, and it was like it drove the whole plot. Again, I put this too close to my arm. It drove the whole plot. His character did, and I'm surprised that he has not put himself in another film where he's had that big of an impact on it before.
Okay.
Best movie number 1 for Quentin Tarantino.
For you.
For me.
For me, no. Not my number 5 starts with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm actually gonna give it to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Honorable mention.
Only, you know, but it was based off of
Don't tell me.
Based off of the performances.
Okay.
Because they were absolutely. No. Honestly, that wasn't even a selling point for me when I was watching it, or when the trailers were out. It was more along the lines of who was in it and how he was going to direct them. Because when he directed Leo and DJ Ango in Django Unchained, you know, he was beautiful. I mean, he to the point where he really did break that glass on his hand and kept rolling and kept on. I mean, that's how Quentin Tarantino is. And I thought he directed them great. I thought the flow was good, but a little too long. That's why it's number 5. Too long. 30 to 45 minutes shaved off, yeah. But I thought everything that he got
about a good 2 hours. From
the cinematography to the performances and all that, I thought it was great. Cool. Or good, not great. All right, there you go. All right, number 4 is From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, but I love it. But you know, Clooney and him, the freaking chemistry between the two of them were freaking great. You really did think they were brothers.
Yeah. He was really looking out for his little.
But he was creepy in it.
He
was creepier. He was creepier in human form than he was as a vampire. For real.
Because he was psychotic.
Yes, what he did to the bank teller was ridiculous. But it was, like I said, he was more terrifying in
Did you ever see the actual TV show?
No.
It gave more backstory as far as
To the Gecko Brothers?
Yeah, but when it got like later on into the season, it was like they gave too much reasons for things, and it was like they like tried to explain that he wasn't psychotic, he was seeing like he
had visions. He was hallucinating.
Yeah, or not even hallucinating. Like he had like prophetic visions of like the snake gods and stuff like that. They were talking to him. And it was like they tried to tie it into the temple itself, and I was like, okay, this is stupid.
That is pretty dumb. Anyway, but yeah, that was my. Oh yeah, Salmon Hayek with a snake. So number 4. All right, number 3. Number 3 was Jackie Brown.
Why?
You want to talk about the love letter? You said that once upon a time.
From Dusk Till Dawn is lower than Jackie Brown?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
And you gave me crap about Pulp Fiction.
Yes, and I will tell you why. When you said that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was his love letter to Hollywood.
Right.
Jackie Brown was his love letter to blaxploitation.
Yeah.
And when you look at the movies from back in the 70s, as far as having African American leads in movies like Foxy Brown, Dolomite, Shaft, and Superfly TNT, and all these other old classics, he was sending that shout out through Jackie Brown, and he did it freaking phenomenal. He got one of the best performances out of Samuel Jackson, in my opinion, outside of Pulp Fiction. But his portrayal of Ordell was amazing. And that was a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, it was not.
I'm glad it wasn't on my list.
No, you just saw
Samuel Jackson,
a white girl. Samuel Jackson.
That's
Quentin Tarantino movie. To bring Pam Grier out and highlight her again, that was awesome to see her back in a starring role. I mean, I don't even think that she'd be on the L Word without Jackie Brown. So I kind of like uplifted her career a little bit. But having a cast from Michael Keaton, Samuel Jackson to freaking Robert De Niro. I mean, it was just an amazing cast. It was well written. It was a kind of like a heist movie, so I liked it a lot. Chris Tucker getting shot in the freaking trunk, awesome.
Not my favorite movie.
For me, it was, and one of the best soundtracks. And you got to give him credit for that. He has amazing music in his freaking.
Yeah, it's called a playlist.
Okay. Number 2.
You can't get credit for a soundtrack when you just picked your favorite songs.
Number 2 was Kill Bill.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, which one are you gonna go?
I'm gonna honestly,
volume 1 or volume 2.
Man, honestly, if you really think about it and break it down,
one movie.
If you break it down, as far as substance, Kill Bill 2 is better. To a certain degree, Kill Bill 2 is better in a lot of the substance. Kill Bill 1
because Kill Bill 2
was
why.
over the top. It was a little bit over the top, but you had those homages to those Eastern films, those Asian films from back in the day, and from the Jackie Chan films to a lot of the Seven Samurai type films. I mean, he puts it all out there.
Right.
And Uma Thurman, as an action star, I never saw coming. First of all, from doing a freaking dance at.
By the way, this was
Jackrabbit Slims to doing this.
She helped come up with this whole idea, the whole bride thing. So, like, I mean, if anybody's gonna be starring, it's the person to help create the whole thing.
Yeah, and but then you see the Death Squad, that Hit Squad, Bill's Hit Squad, and you have all these great characters, and a little bit of really the homage as far as Bruce Lee with the yellow suit and all that, but her going and fighting each and every character to get her revenge. I mean, she's just freaking awesome. And shout out to Daryl Hannah, because she was just as freaking good. Yeah. So, yeah, really. Splash. Splash 2.
You were going to tell me she was dead. I was expecting that to come right after I said that.
Either way, Kill Bill is one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies, and one of the best action sequences, and actually made our top 5 fight scenes as far as the Crazy 88. So, great movie. And number one is Quentin Tarantino personified, and that's Pulp Fiction. I'm sorry, you can say whatever you want, but everybody compares any movie after, including Jackie Brown. Every single freaking movie that Quentin Tarantino has ever done, they all compare it to Pulp Fiction. And even though Reservoir Dogs was first, it did not give an impact or make an impact the way Pulp Fiction did in 1994. And when you have a cast from John Travolta, which is pretty much resurrected his career, there would be no Face Off without Pulp Fiction, Broken Arrow without Pulp Fiction. Battlefield. Okay, forget it. But you got, you got.
That was his Iron Man.
That was his Iron Man because he did Michael, Phenomenon. He did all of these movies, and thank you to Pulp Fiction and Quentin Tarantino. So, but you got John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Oscar-nominated role that he had for Julius, and probably his most iconic.
Yes.
And then you got Bruce Willis, Uma Thurman. It was just a phenomenal cast, and you're right. You know, he broke it down and connected them at the same time. Not even in chronological order, but they were all connected regardless, whether it was through backstories or whatever the case, connecting characters, whatever the case may be. But you never seen a movie like that way, with that kind of violence, with that kind of imaging that you saw, especially the pawn shop scene with the gimp. It was freaking insane. But regardless, that's what made Quentin. That was awesome. I think he even got the Oscar for the screenplay on that.
Okay.
That was my top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with everything except Jackie Brown.
Alright, so honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. What do you got?
Obviously, I had Kill Bill Volume 1 and 1, Volume 2. That's the only thing that didn't make my list because I really wanted to stick with stuff that he was actually in. And that's the only reason why I didn't make my list. So if you guys were questioning me why Kill Bill didn't make it, is because he wasn't in the actual film. The other one is, why the hell didn't he direct Black Snake Mountain?
It has everything.
And it's like, that is a Quentin Tarantino film. And it's like, why did he not direct this film? I want to see the Quentin Tarantino version of Black Snake Mountain. Oh my god, that movie would be so great. Please give me that. Please give me that. That's all I got.
Okay, I had Reservoir Dogs. I had Kill Bill 2. I keep saying DJ Angle. I swear. Freaking workaholics, man. I hate dang. Inglourious Basterds. Hey, man. Brad Pitt, Eli Roth, and Christoph Waltz. That's all I got to say. Those performances that they did were freaking amazing.
He's the first person to get scalped.
Who did?
Quentin Tarantino. He's actually in the film. He's the first person to get scalped.
And you did not put him in it.
I mean, because you couldn't really see him.
Well, he was scalped.
He's scalped.
But yeah, those performances were great. Got Christoph Waltz the Oscar. Hey. Yes. He actually, I believe he wrote this movie, but True Romance.
Oh, wow.
Christian Slater, man.
I guess I could see that being something Quentin Tarantino would do.
Yeah, man. You had Val Kilmer as Elvis. Yeah. Hell yeah. True Romance all day, baby. Great poster, too. I don't know why I like that poster.
I would take that over Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown, all right. Terrence, take us home.
All right, so with that being said, put your top 5 in the list below. If you want to go my route, stuff that he was actually in, go ahead and put in Inglourious Basterds for goodness. Scout. Also, too, or you could just mix and combine and just whatever your top 5 Quentin Tarantino films, just let us know in the comments below. As well, if this is the first time you've been on the channel, or if you just maybe haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification button, so that way you're aware of all the other videos that we do on the channel.
For Aspen and Art, where the hell they're at, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was I don't know what this was. This was the top 5. Let's do that again.
No, we're not doing that again. Take it easy, guys.
You remember the saying, right? Behind every fine girl is a guy tired of nailing her.
I want to be the guy tired of nailing her. Man, I had this so much. I'm just sick of it.
Man, hey, that was some old.
Here, take it. Take it.